excerpt in the magazine about everyone walks this life as a fraud. The trick is to be grateful and to hope the keeper doesn't end anytime soon. I was wondering if you could elaborate on that more.
Well, let's just pause about how musical it is to have somebody like quoting words that I wrote. I mean, that's just like, really? I didn't even remember that. I'm obviously making a general statement, but I think that you get to a certain level of either personal or professional accomplishment. It could be the birth of a child, or it could be a significant sport event in your life, or it could be a job that's handed to you and you say to yourself, shouldn't somebody better and more qualified and more serious than me take on this responsibility? Who am I to look after these human lives? Who am I to take the careers of other people in custody? I don't think that insecurity belongs solely to me. What I would say is, I think that there's a whole lot of people that are just faking their way through life, trying to do the next right thing and achieving extraordinary things, but at bottom, many of them, not all, but many of them feel as if it's some kind of trick or some magic that's underway. I mean, if you look at my story, which is, I was on welfare 20 years ago. I was living in my parents' basement with two twins. I had no car, no insurance, no medical insurance. I was not exactly the guy in the car commercial, laughing with the kids in the back seat. And yet here I am. So America is a great, great country and meritocratic in the extreme. It helps to be white. I think given the fact that I was arrested 11 times, that I dealt in powdered cocaine and not crack cocaine, the fact that I was able to hire good, able counsel helped me skate beyond consequence. And I also think I was advantaged by my gender in that if you, let's say that same set of circumstances, single parent, on welfare, living in parents' basement, and array that over a woman. Well, in our culture, that person would be known as a slut or a loser or a welfare mom. I was treated as a crown prince. It's just like, see the man who got custody of his kids. And so I had every advantage. This is not a book like about a victim. Born into a nice family, nobody slipped me a Mickey, no neighbor snuck over and did terrible things to me. I was a person who reflexively liked feeling different and did it all the time until they got in trouble. And I do think that the gifts I got early on in terms of upbringing, the turning point for me was I had been sort of a chronic addict for 10 years, and the progression of the disease was such that I ended up sort of out of work and more or less completely unmanageable. And that meant I was a bad husband. I married early and got divorced. I was a bad brother to my brothers and sisters. I was a bad son. I'd been a bad employee. But somewhere in there, I got my dope dealer pregnant, and she had these twins, and I really hated being a bad parent. There was nothing in my upbringing that could really help me find a place to put it. And that, it's not polite in sort of recovery circles. You're supposed to recover only for self. But for me, it came down to, I'm clearly willing to destroy myself to get high. Am I also willing to take out these two harmless, defenseless children to do it? And the answer was probably not. And so that created a ledge. I went into the booby hatch for 6 months. I ended up with custody of them. And then, as I said, the village just kind of moved in and helped me along. And here I am.